The final voyage of Dr. Elias Hargrove. It began not with an explosion, but with a hush. Earth, once a cacophony of life and invention, now breathed in shallow gasps. Dr. Elias Hargrove, physicist and inventor, stood alone atop the glass observation platform of Arcadia Research Compound, watching the sky through fractured ozone. Above him, the sun no longer burned golden, but dimmed to a sickly bronze. Climate models had long ceased to matter, weather no longer followed rules. In one hemisphere, endless droughts baked continents to ash. In another, oceans devoured cities like hungry beasts. Humanity, brilliant and short-sighted, had crossed too many lines. Now the planet turned against them. Dr. Hargrove had spent the last decade trying to undo what centuries of ambition had wrought. The world had not listened. Governments collapsed into autocracies. Resources dwindled into myth. Now, in the last days of Earth, he toiled not for glory, but survival. In the core of his lab, an ancient silo converted into a haven for lost genius, stood the crown of his efforts, the quantum transit engine. A prototype, untested, based on mathematics whispered in ancient cosmic background radiation. It was not merely a teleportation device. It was a bridge through probability itself. He hadn't built it to save the Earth. It was too late for that. He built it to escape. And when the final data came in, seismic patterns, atmospheric toxin levels, the collapse of the Greenland shelf, he knew. There were hours left, maybe less. He activated the engine. The room roared with energy. Matter deconstructed around him. Light and memory and skin unraveled in a symphony of vibration. He vanished. Dr. Elias awoke to the scent of spice and nectar. He lay sprawled on a field of violet grass that shimmered under dual sunlight. Two suns hovered in the teal sky, one pale as ice, the other deep and blue as twilight. His lungs ached with the first breath of alien air, but it was breathable. Around him, the landscape curved in impossible beauty. Trees with golden leaves that sang in the wind, rivers that glowed from within, floating stones etched with luminous glyphs. He had done it. He had crossed the impossible. A distant sound stirred him, not machine, not animal, but voice. He turned. She emerged from the grove like a vision sculpted by dream. Her skin shimmered emerald, a cascade of scaled patterns flowing like silk over sinew. Her eyes, silver and glacial, met his with quiet calculation. Her presence was commanding, almost regal. She held a staff of woven crystal, pulsing faintly. "You are not of this place," she said. Her voice flowed like water over stone. "No," he replied, heart racing. "I am from Earth, a dying world. I didn't mean to come here." She approached, examining him with eyes that missed nothing. "Earth, a name from the archives. You have crossed the rift." She extended her hand. "I am Zyra of the Corellan Sanctum. You have arrived at the edge of what we call Bobria 7. You stand in Velhareth, the last living grove." Elias took her hand. Warm, strong, real. And so began his new existence, not as a scientist, but as a stranger reborn among stars. Zyra led him through crystalline valleys, where bioluminescent vines curled around gravity-defying towers. Velhareth was more than a forest. It was a sentient ecosystem, the last remnant of a once vast civilization. Zyra spoke of her people, the Corellans, guardians of cosmic equilibrium, stewards of dying worlds. Millennia ago, they had turned inward, abandoning conquest for preservation. When other species fell to war and entropy, the the Corellans became myth. And yet, here she was. And now, Elias too. He was brought before the elders, beings of vast age and stillness. They examined his mind, his memories. They saw the death of Earth, the failure of humanity, and the longing in Elias' soul. Zyra stood beside him throughout the ritual. He carries the last breath of a world, she told the elders. He must not be discarded. And so they gave him passage. Zyra became his guide, his protector. She taught him the song of the grove, how to listen to the stones, how to speak without sound. In return, Elias shared what he knew: physics, emotion, music, chaos. In time, their connection deepened beyond language. It began with glances, then shared laughter. Then the night beneath the floating gardens of Zyra, where phosphorescent blooms pulsed with the rhythm of twin moons. Elias confessed his dreams, the guilt he carried, the lives lost, the silence of his old world. Zyra touched his face gently. "You are not broken. You are becoming." Their kiss tasted of starlight. That night, in the sacred alcoves of her sanctum, they melded minds. Corellan bonding was not merely physical. It was a convergence of memory and spirit. Elias saw her youth, her pain, her battles against extinction. She saw his Earth, his daughter, the snow that fell the day his wife died. They wept. They healed. They became more. In the heart of Velhareth lay Lake Valemere, its waters a mirror to the cosmos. Elias and Zyra journeyed there at twilight, when the suns kissed the horizon and the stars awakened. Here, Corellan lore whispered of the star-forged stone, a relic buried beneath the lakebed, said to awaken in the presence of a being from a dying world. Elias approached the waters, and they shimmered with a resonance not seen in centuries. Zyra watched in awe as the lake responded to his touch. Ripples turned into runes, dancing across the surface in spectral light. He felt a pull, not physical but psychic, calling him into the depths. That night, as they camped by the shore, Zyra revealed the prophecy. A foreign soul would one day arrive bearing the echo of a broken earth. His arrival would signal the reawakening of ancient forces, both benevolent and monstrous. And somewhere beyond the stars, something had noticed. A signal had been sent. A force was coming. In the crystalline chambers beneath Velhareth, Elias and Zyra studied the energy patterns from the lake. The quantum transit engine had done more than transport. It had torn a fissure through dimensions. Through that fissure, something vast and old had glimpsed them. Zyra consulted the seers, an order of visionaries tethered to the planetary ether. Their visions grew darker, storms of void matter, shadows with no source, echoes of Earth but twisted, decayed. Elias knew what it meant. The death of Earth had birthed more than sorrow. It had awakened ancient predators, long imprisoned in cosmic limbo. And now, they hunted him. Yet even in that knowledge, his bond with Zyra grew stronger. Their love became sanctuary. In her arms, he remembered what it meant to feel alive. But peace would not last, and the stars were beginning to scream. To be continued.